Hello everyone and good evening. Welcome to an Aurogiri stream. We haven't really been streaming a lot lately because of the massive amounts of overtime I've been doing at work because of COVID and all that good stuff. Although my province has 0 new cases for like a week now, so that's really good. Yeah, so in previous streams, well, basically the last stream was like the update stream. That was the last thing I did before I had to go to work. We discussed a lot of new features coming to the game. So hey Enjoyful, hey Butts. So recently, like, I haven't been doing that much content in the past, let's say 2-3 months or whatever. Not months, Jesus. 2-3 weeks, let's say. I haven't done that much content in 2-3 weeks. But there's been a lot of new developments in my absence. Like, a lot of new things have been coming to JP and other consoles that have been sneaking up on us. And I want to share them more, not really in detail, like point by point, but just discuss it with a focused video topic. So, Jesus, this camera in here sucks. But, what the hell? Can't see anything. You hear what's going on? Well, you're part of it. You're part of it, dude. So, first thing I want to say is JP PC has got a level cap increase. So 135 is no longer the limit, although not many people are there. Maybe 0.1% of anybody's there. I think Aubrey's there, YouTuber, and some others. And that's a big grind. That's 400 billion experience from 131 to 135 that you have to farm manually. So basically 140 is coming, so the next, all level caps go up 5 levels at a time. We're kind of used to that by now, but they don't happen as frequently as they once did. But there's big news, big good news at this when it comes to this new level cap increase, because it's also featuring EXP changes. When we got 135, well, that's part of things, but when we did get 135, everyone that was basically 130, like OG 130, instantly, like, teleported, like, they instantly jumped to 131. Like, people that were 128 jumped to 129, 127, 128. Like, the experience values decreased so that it was less experience needed to level up, which honestly screwed a lot of people out of using experience tickets because I don't know, Cyberstep doesn't like money. That one I don't get, okay? So, that's something I don't get at all. Like, the reason that you would change experience in a game like this is to help newer players, in a way, right? Like, people that are hardcore, people that have been playing for years, people that know what they're doing, people that are really, really invested in the game. You know, we don't really care about experience dungeons, shit like that. Like, it didn't matter because we were already there doing experience regularly, like through Arcanes or Dew Creek or whatever have you. You know, give us a dungeon, we'll farm it. But they don't give us dungeons anymore. And at one point in time, I don't remember when it came, but experience dungeon, when it came, like, you would farm your tickets and you'd do all that stuff, and then it was like, oh my god, this is amazing, this is so good that I cannot go back to doing it the old way. So, right, like, that's the whole point. Well, that's not basically anything at all, Japanese letters. But let me continue. So, I'm just telling the story right now. Well, yeah, PS4 is in the shadow of PC, absolutely. In time as well. Like, holy fuck, I can't see anything. My controller's like frigged up. I keep looking at the ceiling. Is the dungeon end here? Is there no boss? So yeah, so basically it comes to a point, people aren't running experience anymore because experience dungeon is better. Cyberstep introduced a way that they completely power crept experience farming, and people just did it, right? They did their boost, they did their restore, and they did it, and next thing you know, like in a week, 2 weeks, everyone's 125. Everyone is like, because it didn't take much to hit 125 with tickets. It was easy, you know. So yeah, it is still analog drifting. I don't know. I was just using it. Like, it works on 90% of all the games I play on PS4. Only one other game it does it. It does it in Onigiri, it does it something else. Okay. So, basically, this is the thing I don't understand, and this is... I'm kind of happy experience tickets are coming back. I'm getting to this, okay? So, and there's a lot of delay here, but I like telling stories, because it shapes context of stuff. So... when they put in the experience dungeon, they made money from, like, everybody. And from the people they didn't make money from, like people that were just saving restores, people that are really loyal, they log in every day. I mean, if you log in every day, like boom, 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 log in every day, you get that login OC, you do this, do that, this, that, this, that, this, that. Especially on consoles with 10 OC restores. That's a big deal. I would love us to get 10 OC restores. Absolutely, I would love it. That's a separate issue, but we're going to tuck that aside for now. But basically, like, people that just had restores from events like Zunko, people got Zunko restores every day. It was really easy to get restores. You can notice now that a lot of events that we get do not give full energy restores repeatedly anymore. They just give us like 30 for doing 5 runs, like 3 10s, 3 10s, 3 10s. Especially with this event we have right now. I believe in our achievement calendar, like there's some things, if you do it 50 times, you get a full restore or something like that. But generally, you do it 3 times a day, you get your 3 energy back. You get 2 restores, whatever. Like, it's all little shit now. Like, they don't really give big stuff anymore. Because, like, they put out the experience dungeon, people used all their boosts, and then their restores, and they leveled up. And then the really hardcore, well, they put in money, they did that. Yeah. So, okay, so... let's just jump to the what's happening. Okay, so 140 is coming. Experience is getting reduxed. So people that are like, let's say you're halfway to 132, you might just jump to 132. So experience is going to get a rollback, and we're going to be able to use experience ticket 3s again. However, they're not changing like the description for experience ticket 3, but you still have to farm experience ticket 3. Okay, so you farm experience tickets on Hell, and you go talk to the Black Cat, and you can trade your ticket 3s or ticket Hell or whatever, and then they'll give you like Oni tickets or something, right? They'll give you some equivalent. You go to an exchange shop and you just trade it and you get them. I don't know why they didn't just add an Oni mode to the dungeon or something, like an extra difficulty or an extra page. I don't really get that, why they're going that avenue, but that's going to be happening. I don't think the tickets are any better or stronger or worse. It honestly doesn't make any sense why they introduced it in such a manner, but they did. I don't think it's the best way, but I'm glad it's here. So we're going to be able to go from basically, and here's the catch, and this is different. There's a difference in it. These tickets are only usable from... yeah, these tickets are only usable from level 131, or, no, let me rephrase that, 130. They should be usable from 130 because that's retarded if they're not. But they're usable from 130 to 139. That means whatever 140 is going to be some bitch, okay? So we're going to be able to level up to 139 really, really, really easy. Tickets are stronger than the EXP3 tickets? Oh, okay. Alright, if they're 100 mil a ticket, that's gold. What can they be? Like, let's just extrapolate for a second without actually knowing the numbers. Let's just hypothesize for a second. If these Purgatory tickets or these Oni tickets, whatever we call them, ticket 4s. If ticket 4s are better than ticket 3s, by how much? A ticket 3 is, I believe, 10 million experience. And yeah, I think it's 10 million a ticket, and you get like 300 tickets, and that's like 3 billion or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, like what if they're like 50? If they're like 50 mil a ticket, which I could see them going to, then they're going to be worth 5 times as much as the regular tickets. But whatever it is, if that's true, that we're going to spend less money to level using these tickets, by all means. But the reason, like, let me get back to the money part of it. So Cyberstep literally introduces a method where people are just leveling up, getting boosts from events and all this stuff, getting EXP boosts and all this stuff. Everyone can level up as much as they want. It doesn't cost them a dime because of all the events they released. Okay, people leveled up. For the people that missed out on these events and newer players, well, they got a highway to just spend OC and energy and get to level 130 really easily with the experience ticket dungeon. They made a lot of money out of that. The people that went to 130 dropped a lot of money out of that. Me, my buddies, everybody did that. Like, every like top tier player, like, used experience tickets, got to 130. Like, it was a thing. Like, it was, yeah, it was energy restores. It was doing it every weekend. It was, you know, free to play people did it. Pay to win people did it. Like, everybody did it, you know? So they released a thing. Cyberset probably made so much money off that because it's a guaranteed, like in a gacha game, that was a guaranteed, what's that word? It's acquisition. It was a guaranteed acquisition. It was not a gamble. It was not this, not that. It was, you got your bow, you did what you had to do, and you got the dungeons done. So yeah, so they made a lot of money from that. So then I don't know where it came about that they just released 135 and then they took it away. They made it so you couldn't use tickets past 130. So like this was basic like Call of Duty, like shitty rehash game money acquisition tactics. Like literally, oh, you did you paid like $300 for the thing? Great! We just released another thing! Would you like to pay $300 for it again? They didn't even try! They didn't try! They could've! Would I have done it? Yeah! It doesn't have to be right away. You could do a level a month, like $100 a month, whatever. You could do that. $50 a month throughout the course of a year. You could just drop money for OC restores and just level up and shit. Doesn't have to be one giant exchange, but they took away the vending machine for levels that probably made them a lot of money. They just said, no, we're going to let them go back to using experience tickets. Are we going to release any dungeons for them to do? No? Okay. So it seems that the 130 tickets are 10 mil? Okay. That's what I thought, but thank you for checking. I appreciate it. So the tickets, they're the exact same. They're 10 million for them, they're 10 million for threes. So it's the exact same dealio again. And right now, like, I don't know the new math for levels because it is going to be different. But right now, like 132 to 133 is 100 million. 100 billion, sorry. Like every level is like 100 billion right now, in essence. Like 133 is 100 billion, 134, 135. So it's about 500 billion to level from 130 to 135. That was the metric. No, it's not broken. That's what I don't get. It's all 10 million. It's just they didn't rework the ticket. They didn't just change the text to saying you can use this as long as you're 129. Like, I think it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Because I was saying this in another stream that you can start stockpiling these tickets right now, okay? Like, if ever you're swimming in energy resources, right now our event is pretty booty cheeks. The actual event we have right now. Unless there's something you want in the exchange shop, yeah, get that stuff. But, in essence, you could, on the weekend, just save your little energy restores, you know, build up your energy restores throughout the week, do your events, do that stuff, build up a repertoire of energy restores, and then on the weekend you could just, you know, farm up a couple hours of experience tickets. And this is like if you're 130, you know, if you're under 130, yeah, use your tickets, whatever. It doesn't matter when you use them, but if you're beyond 130 and this is something you want to invest in, you could future farm your tickets instead of just throwing them into assist partners every now and again, because that's another money grub from them too. Friggin' assist partners taking tickets, not as much as we need, but frig, that sucks. Like, I've never gotten my Kota Noah past like 140 or whatever. Oh, so yeah, Purga for sure. So basically, yeah, experience ticket, like you can use these tickets from 130 to 139, so 131 to 139, and you have to grind 139 to 140 on your own, which means we go back to Dew Creek, because nothing else has ever been released for a dungeon you can run without energy consumption for experience. So there's that. Because biometric, like, if you have a 400% boost going and you're doing adequate runs of Dew Creek, it's about 700 to 800 million an hour, which is like 1.5 billion every 2 hours. That's generally what you're looking at here. So it's either you have... It comes down to time versus money, and time is money. Yeah, Zachariah, absolutely. Our story's borked. Our story don't work at all, and they don't fix it. Our story is broken in 2 different spots. The story is broken in Kyoto Skies, which is like early in Kyoto for Kirin and Shootin' Doji. That's in Kyoto. Kyoto Skies is broken. I believe you do talk to Yoshitsune there. And the story is also broken with the android. So the story is broken at 2 different parts of our game, which really, really sucks. That's a big problem. You'll never catch you alive farming Dew. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I did it for a while, but then I started doing overtime instead. So next thing. So basically, yeah, guys, like, if you're interested in leveling up in the future, this is something that's going to be coming. Level 131 to 139, you can use tickets again. Remember, that's 1 chakra every 2 levels. So if you're 130 and you went to 138, which is prime real estate, prime level ups, that gains you, like, I mean, 130 to 138, that's 4 chakra. That's a whole sparrow. That's a whole, like, sparrow with double ornaments. You could start wearing things like, if you're sword, you could start pulling out your Asogis you made. You could start pulling out your Raso mags. Like, we could start having more interesting builds with just 4-5 more chakra added into that pool. Like, it's a big deal. It's a big, big deal. And there's more stat points as well. I don't know where you're going to put those, because eventually all our stats are going to look the same anyway, but maybe it's a little more wisdom, maybe it's a little more mind, maybe it's a little more dex, whatever it may be. No, you don't simply quit. You play for the future. Okay, welcome. So, experience tickets. So I talked 18 minutes about experience tickets. Like, this is something in the future. This is something you can farm now. If you find yourself, nah, I don't want to do Purgatory. Nah, I don't want to do this event. On the weekends, you can start stockpiling your tickets. Build an advancement. Like, start building up in advance. And then, like, when this drops, you look at your friends who didn't do it and you say, sup, bitch, I'm 132. Sup, I'm 134. Like, bang, that quick. Boom, boom, boom. You go to some little isolated place, you level up, you come out a man. Like, you can do that. Just out of nowhere. Because something like that, it'd be really funny. Like, imagine, like, Jack Atlas walking down the club 135. Like, what could you imagine? Like, oh my god. Oh, I got the hiccups. It's so funny. But it's something you could do. Like, you could stockpile your tickets, and it's just like me and the boys. Oh, coming out of the fucking hyperbolic... Yeah! Me and the boys coming out of the hyperbolic time chamber. Like, they'd be like Dragon Ball Z. Boom! And everyone senses your power level. Ah! Like Dragon Ball Z. Like that scene when Vegeta leaves the time chamber. It's like, oh my god! It's exactly what it is. So hyperbolic time chamber is happening. So you can choose to farm that if you want, if things are pretty bad. Oh man, you'll be able to hit everything. For sure. Whew, so that's coming. I can't see the title of the video, but if I could, I would remember what I was going to talk about. Next thing. So, this comes from Duke, by the way. The update can come at any time too. That is a good point. I'd like to add that. So this isn't some big fear mongering. This update could come at any time. So it doesn't matter. The experience, the energy cost isn't gonna go up. You know, like it's not like, oh my god, they changed the experience dungeon to where it takes 80 energy a run instead. There's nothing like that happening. There's nothing at all. It's the same dungeon. You just exchange your tickets from a cat. And you just use them. So it's like, you know, I don't know. It's taking your potatoes and turning them into French fries, and they give you more experience because French fries are better. And lame potatoes are just potatoes. Okay, so comparisons aside, that's a good point. This update could come at any time at all. Like, because you guys probably noticed that we get very, very, very small updates now, like when it comes to file size. Like when we got Leviathan, it's like 200 megabytes. We got this update, it's like 200 megabytes. Like nothing's ever a gigabyte anymore, because at one point in time we just downloaded everything. Like they just like bulk put everything into the game, put a bunch of like locks, content locks in it, so that okay, when this happens, like new update happens, it's like, oh, it's time for Leviathan to be released. Like if you go to our Kinka May, she has like Vanguards listed up to next Halloween with Kaguya and Momotaro Halloween versions. Like they're there. They've been there forever. Like, yeah, the goddamn Umbrella event is gonna last all month. Yeah. So now's the time to ignore the Umbrella event and farm what really matters. Like, I've always said it. If you get a shit event, that means it's time to do what needs to be done. Me personally, I'm trying to make an El Galgo Sin right now. That's what I'm working on. Because I will have all these Sublimes that are sitting in my storage, and I'm like, I should be using this stuff. I should stop, you know, thinking of myself purely as a spear user when all these universal mags coming and all this, like, frozen hell mags, all this stuff coming, and like Kotanoa mags coming. There's so much potential, like so much fire sublimes that I would have on Odachi or something, or wind sublimes from something or whatever. There's so many options that exist in my inventory that I'm like, oh, this is useless because it's not spear, that I've just been kind of sitting on it, and I realize, well, there's power in my pocket and I should really be trying to use it for when I need it. Because I noticed that when doing like Oni mode, Purgatory, Sleet, it's a lot more better than Infernal. Infernal was really fucking annoying. But with Purgatory, like Sleet, yeah, like I find Thunderlance is really, really good. That's awesome, Phantom. Hope you get your recipe and your weapon. I find with Sleet, having a ranged option is really, really good. I've noticed some sword users, they're using Thunder Knowledges or whatever, Thunder Masteries, and then he gets away from you, and like when Sleet's away from you, because if you get too close, you get frozen, you get hit, you get all that, you know, you get like, like when you're fighting Sleet, you get hit with a lot of collateral damage because you have to get so close to hit them for some classes. And I've noticed people just whip out like a wand. I don't know if it was just a gargoyle wand or an L wand or a Tiamat wand or just some wand. I saw people whip out a wand and just go triple Thunder Crash, like bang, 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 and hit them with a good like 3 million a tick from a safe distance. And then when you get close, you whip out your main weapon and hit them with your Lightning Slash, your Thunder Lance, your whatever it may be. And I'm like, that's a really good tactic. Because generally, with how much durability we have on weapons and how much cooldown we have on weapons, generally if I want to use lightning, well yeah, 3 to 4, exactly. You know, especially if the weapon has a damage multiplier at that. You know, if your accessory gives you more lightning, etc., etc., right? Like there's options. Now, like generally, let's say your main weapon has 7,000 durability. You're using a lightning weapon to fight Sleet. You're using Thunderlance on that. You're very lightly touching your normal skills depending on your weapon. And then it's like, oh well, I have these other slots. Like I have a staff that can res. I have a slaff. 3 weeks for the event to end. That's what you're thinking about. Yeah, for sure, Purgatory. Yeah, and then you have like you know, you have these extra weapon slots. It's like, you know, instead of just having another weapon that's exactly the same, what if I had like a bow or something that I could shoot him with, or a wand, or some option that helps? And I'm like, that's really, really smart. So I'm trying to make myself an El Galgo Sin because I got their Thunder Sublime on it, and I'm like, that would be a good option that if I ever get some spacing time against Sleet, or, you know, a future boss or whatever, and I'm using universal mags like that, I could quickly swap out, pop, 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 and then when he comes back, I switch and I go back to what I'm doing. Like, that way it saves a lot of your time, and, you know, the more time you're doing DPS from a safe distance, that means the less time you actually have to fight the bitch. You know? Like, yeah. So I'm going to do is take a second and read some lines here. Yeah, I'll admit I haven't done much Purgatory myself, but for what I did like 3 runs of Oni and a couple hells. I've noticed, yeah, I noticed, like, Thunderlance seems to be the way to go. And, yeah, like, I find, like, if you're in a party and the aggro's not 100% on you, it's really easy to, like, watch his patterns and just learn what to do. Because, like, you know, once you learn the timing to jump over ice and do all this stuff, the only thing Sleet really does that kills you is, like, if you're not looking and he throws a spear at you, or you get caught in the circle of ice and you just die, because you just die. You just die. Like, I don't know what you're gonna do unless your buddy's spamming heals up your asshole. You just die. Okay, so that's the next thing. San actually interjects at a good time. So in the future, I was looking into the future. I was looking into my crystal ball called YouTube Japanese, and I was watching Kuroha. And there's going to be Purgatory versions of the new gargoyles as well. What's not gargoyles? The dragon arcs. So the Dragon Arcs are going to be coming too, and they're fucking power creep. You look at what those Dragon Arc mags, those Dragon Arc weapons, the 133 Dragon Arcs, fucking broken, man. They are fucking good. Like, those mod mags you make from events and login count, not login counters, like Magatama and Yankoropan and whatnot, these Dragon Arc weapons and mags have like 2 damage multipliers on them. They are fucking broken, my dude. The mags are really good, and the elements are really good too. They are fucking broken, man. Like, everything the mod does, everything that's on a mod, these things do that, plus they have 150 skill force on them. So, like, the mod, in a sense, is like, okay, well, if you have the Holy mod, then if you have 180 Holy, then you do extra damage on every hit, and the mag also gives you element. And then the Dragon Arc mags are like, we do the exact same thing as mod, but we do it twice, and we give you 150 skill force, because why the fuck not? So, yeah, like, pay-to-win mags, essentially. But yeah, like, the Dragon Arc shit is really good. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't try to make you not heal. I don't like that about the gargoyle mags, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like that at all. I think it's fine on a weapon because you can switch in and out of it, but like on a mag it solidifies your whole build. Quite possibly. I haven't seen it in action. I'll admit I haven't seen it. But reading it, it's written exactly the same as the Dragon Arc weapon. Like, the weapon has that effect and the mag has that effect. That's so what I've been told or what I hear. But generally it's like the mod. Like, you can technically have like 6 fucking symbols under your health bar. You can have like one, let's say you had 3 Dragon Arc Ausame mags. Let's say, for example, Ausame mag is going to be lit. Like, dear Christ, the Ausame mag is going to be broken as fuck, okay? That's my personal opinion. You're allowed to ignore it. But I think the Ausame mag is going to be broken as fuck. Because let's say, because here's the thing when it comes to damage multipliers in this game, which is really, really juicy. Really juicy. Damage multipliers in this game, like, people like to they like to associate damage multipliers with critical. Like, how critical works is your critical value is a total number out of 100. That's your crit rate. Critical is not 1%, 100, or let's say you have 50 crit. It's not 1% 50 times. Yes, it is, but it's like a single number. It's not like, it's not running 150 times. It's running 50% once, like flip a coin. But when it comes to damage multipliers on weapons, Magatama, etc., each has their own individual proc. Like, there's only one crit proc, but when you have damage multiplier weapons, damage multiplier mags, God forbid damage multiplier accessories, because you know that fucking shit's coming in years to come, and it's gonna be bullshit, and we're gonna spend money for it, because that's the next logical evolutionary step. But essentially, let me switch to a weapon here just to demonstrate this for a second. So my weapon, this is the Grace, has a bonus damage multiplier of 15%, and another one of 15%. One for wind, one for mountain. So basically, if you had 3 of these mags, and let's say the exact same weapon, because why the hell not, you would have like you would have 8 damage multipliers per hit that you produced, okay? So you would have 8 independent factors. This assumes they do not stack. If they are all treated independently as blue things, like, and this part isn't even pay to win. Like, this part is something you can farm for in the game. You have a month to do it. Sure, energy restores, pay to win. It's like an arcade machine, okay? But let me just get into the mechanics of this bullshit. Okay, so these Dragon Arc mags, if you wore 3 of the same Dragon Arc mag, and this assumes that similar effects do not stack, it doesn't pull a critical on you, that would mean that based on your luck and depending on what you use, you can get a fuck ton of damage. Because they might say that additional damage has an overall cap, damage cap cannot be exceeded. Well, that exists for every single proc. It will not combine your total bonus damage and nerf it so that it cannot exceed damage cap. Let's just go back to that example. And these bonus damages do not matter. Like, if it says mountain, I can still use rain and have it trigger. If it says wind, I can use darkness and still have it trigger. This rain darkness value only looks back at what your base elements are. It doesn't matter what move you're using. That's why, like, let's say for example a day 10 Ryu weapon that used Water Dragon Sublime and you had full 250 dark with knowledges or whatever, you're still going to get damage procs on your Water Dragon Sublime like 50 times or whatever. That's just for an example. You don't need to have the element to have it work, or you don't need to be using that element to have it work either. I'm assuming if you did have 0 element, it wouldn't do very much anyway, but if you're using these mags, you're going to have that element regardless. So, let's put that into perspective. If you have 8 damage procs, and let's say, like Aja mentioned earlier, the mod mags only really add like 300k. I've seen them add a couple, like a mil or so every now and again. But essentially, let's assume that these actually do weapon procs, right? Like, let's say they really unleash like an extra 1.2 million damage a tick. Let's assume that each of these, if procced, can deal an extra 1.2 mil. Okay, so you just used like a single hit move and you have 8 damage procs. Let's say the Goddess of Luck is on your side, you used one move that did damage cap. Let's say, for example, there is a Water Lance or something, and you used Water Lance, and Water Lance did damage cap. And then every single thing you had triggered on that one use of Water Lance, it could be Thunder Lance, whatever, Thunder Lance makes more sense because it is a Asame weapon. You have your Thunder Lance, it does damage cap. Your weapon effects, like, you have 8 procs that all trigger at the same time. You're now doing, you're now doing... You could turn damage cap into 18 million? Because 1.2 times 8 is... That's an extra 8 million? Plus the 0.2 times 5 is another million, so 9 million. Essentially, you're reaching the realms of damage cap. Again, a secondary damage cap. That's what we're looking at, okay? That's in a perfect world where heads flips every single time. Okay, and that's not a single hit move, so if you just turned Lance to 18 mil, well, what if it does 15 mil? What if it does 13 mil? What if it does 17 mil? It's random every single time. That's true too. Everything is gonna get power. Well, 123. Okay, 123 weapons were definitely ass. I'll give it that. 123 weapons, like warped was okay. Like warped, there's nothing wrong with warped. It's just nadir is like really shit. Because there was no upgrade and it doesn't and warp doesn't look as good as completion and it doesn't look as good as nadir, but in a sense, yeah, like they got power crap, they're not very good. The 133 weapons, they're probably gonna get power crept in a way. Like, it's gonna come down to, well, the Alsame weapon is just better for rain. Or, it depends what you're using, to be honest. Keiji's power crap? True. Keiji's fucking broken. I mean, if they start rolling out more things like Keiji, Jesus, why do we even need skills for? Well, yeah. I mean, that it's like a not a gambler's fallacy, but it's like an MMO fallacy, right? Like, and I play a bunch of different games now, and you see power creep and stuff, and like, power creep really benefits players who build themselves right the first time, and then it just comes to a point where like whatever you had before isn't cutting it anymore. The rank 7 Aurogiri is Keiji. I haven't seen the Mega Force 7. Is it like super fucking big? Like, is it like a shit ton of moves and shit like that? Keiji's skills are all rank 8? Okay. Should you stay with completion? Yeah. Hey Kitsumi. It's all cap? I guess it depends on your mags too. I mean, if you're using a 133, respectively, you're gonna have good mags. So, that argument kind of falls away, but yeah. There's no reason to buy her if you're 133 at rank 7 Arcogis. That's another thing, too. Yeah. Yeah, element coverage, if anything. If anything, that's the only thing. Because now... Alright, so... But yeah, basically, like, the thing I wanted to get to is that if you have this Osame weapon, right, and you have 250 water and 250 lightning for no element, what he means by no element is neutral damage that's gonna hit like fixed damage. I think that's what he's going at, like fixed, like, you know what, what's her name does? The other Maida, Inochiyo? Is her name Inochiyo? Yeah, Maida, Inochiyo. Toshi and Inochiyo. Like, they have a one move, or like Ho-Oh had that Pierce Seal. It just does fixed damage no matter what. I think that's what he's referring to. Yeah. You know. You got a point. Like, cause those moves usually take like half your health, and then they have some big costs, and it's like, well, you hit them once. But, oh, is that you, Phantom? There we go. But yeah, so... Well, that's a good thing, for sure. So these Arc Oogis are coming. And they're going to be amazing. That's great. That's fantastic. So then... It's good on Ignis. Yeah, that's true too. So... Yeah, so what I'm really excited about is these Dragon Arc weapons, these Dragon Arc Oogis. You get that Aosame weapon, that spear, and you put Tidal Wave Sublime on that. Tidal Wave Sublime hits so many times, and you have 8 damage procs happening? Like, on PS4, like, the only way to get a water damage proc is, like, a Monsoon Mag, or the, like, what's her name? The Void Spear itself. The 133 Void. Like, I want to see that shit. If you have 8 damage procs on Tidal Wave Sublime, that thing's cooldown is relatively good. Like, multi-hit on that, like Water Dragon, your Dragon Arc Ogi that you're gonna have anyway, Tidal Wave Sublime, like, Jesus. That's gonna be mad damage. Super good damage. Really good damage. Like, you slide on like a... Now, you couldn't slide on a Chiami with all that. But let's say you ran 2 of them in a Chiami or something. You're not dying. Like, I mean, I say that, but, like, what's his name can kill you. Like, Purgatory can just slap your tits and you die. Like, that happens. Like, oh, hey, it's up. Boom, you're dead. But, like, realistically, in any other situation, holy Christ. Like, that's a lot of damage. And the thing about damage multiplier weapons is they actually, like, we've known this forever, but they really, 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 really shine in Oni mode. Like, you get that arc weapon, you can kill that gargoyle probably really fucking quick. Or vice versa. Like, these Dragon Arcs are gonna be fucking sick. So then, if we look at it as a whole, we're basically back to the Dragon Arc and Gargoyle divide of years ago. Yeah, the arc, I don't know what the arcs, their prefaces, I don't know what their special term is. But basically, if we plot it all out for a second, with the let's assuming the Dragon Arcs are way better, and they are perfection. It's not void. They're perfection. Well, that makes sense. So, let's say you have so you have fire, you have water, lightning covered, you have wind, mountain covered, and you have the Grace just got power crept. But I mean, that's going to be like a year before we get it. If you want to get your Grace weapon, go for it. But the Grace is going to get straight up power crept. Whirlwind Thrust Sublime on that bitch. Ooh, boy, that's going to be good. The Heaven. The fucking Heaven's gonna be crazy. The Heaven? Oh my god. What if you had Bright Homing Sublime on that? Like, as a wand user. You get some Heaven mags? We're gonna get Holy Knowledges? Like, they're not knowledges, but Universal Holy... I mean, we have Frozen Hell already, but... Jesus Christ. Bright homing on that? Bright homing Sublime? Fuck. That's a lot of damage. Like, Spirit Blast Sublime on that. That's gonna be crazy. Like, these Ausame mags, for sword, if you get sword's new Sublime with 21 stab wounds. Like, holy shit. That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be mad crazy. Like, oh, it's really hype. It's really hype. These new weapons and stuff. Super, super hype. And 133's not gonna be that hard to hit. Like, with the experience changes coming as well. 139 is gonna be a paycheck in the park. Like, you know, when I hit 130 back in the day with experience tickets, I wasn't working. Like, I didn't have an income. Now I do. It's not that big a deal anymore. For me, it's like, yeah, let's go. I got a whole weekend ahead of me. Let's go. Like, it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be really fun. The wallet wars will begin. But like I said, you can start stockpiling that now. So that's really, really cool. Like, I love talking about speculative stuff, future stuff. So next on the future list is, we're assuming that next month is, well, I'm not assuming that next month is June. I'd love to see a meme of that. I'm assuming next month is June, unless they fucking change the calendar this year. June is canceled because we can't handle June with the virus. Anyway, so June, summer's coming. Are we gonna get Kota Noa Redux this event? Maybe. Are we gonna get Kota Noa next? We got a lull event right now, and it's gonna lead into a big event? Like, oh fuck. Like, if we get Kota Noa, like, Kota Noa mags are really, really good too. Like, they're honestly, like, on par with Tempest. You get a shit ton of defense, you get a bunch of skill force unconditionally, they work for everything, they're fairly easy to make so long as you have fused recipes and stuff, or you have metals, because you can use Oni metals to make fuse and stuff like that. So the Kota Noa mags are going to come, and they're going to be fantastic. We're going to get them way before we get the 133 Dragon Arcs, so assuming. And they're going to have fire on them, they're going to have wind on them, and they're going to have ice on them. And that's going to be wild. That's going to be wild. Like, they're going to be so good, and they're honestly not that bad to make. Yeah, you have to run Gargoyle a whole bunch, but that's not too bad. If you're really desperate, you drop boost and you run the one for Abyss. But moving on with that, yeah, Kota Noa mags are gonna come and they're gonna be awesome. Fire, wind, ice, skill force, crit force, cooldown. They're gonna be fantastic. And there's gonna be Kota Noa weapons as well. Sure, they're not these super 133 plus weapons or whatever, but they're gonna be awesome. And they'll be cool. It's an ice weapon. That's not the 133. So if you don't like not healing and stuff, but ice, wind, and fire wind weapons, really useful. And I don't know how hard it is to make them, but depending on if they are very difficult or not, they might be worth getting now that that Supreme is kind of out of reach for a lot of players. So Kota Noa weapons, Kota Noa mags, be a really good event. Really, really good event. I'd have to say. Absolutely. So that's something to look forward to. So we talked about levels, we talked about 133s, we talked about the Dragon Arcs, Dragon Arc mags. So much stuff. Kota Noa mags are coming. That also means the Kota Noa Oogis are coming too, and you're going to be able to pick up rank 7s of them like directly from an exchange shop. That means like you can get, if you want like Fire Salome, like the move I used on Makami in my video, the big wheel, which is a really good move. It does like 4 or 5 ticks of fire damage, and it does like 3 or 4 ticks, and it's like 3 or 4 million a tick, and you're fully invincible during it. Like, that's a good Oogie. And then there's Icicle Punishment, which is an S tier Oogie as well. Icicle Punishment's fantastic. Invincibility frames out the wazoo, multi-hit, pure ice, fantastic technique. At rank 7, it's going to be mega fucking strong. And you're going to be able to get it. And you could get that and put that on the 133 weapon and do a bunch of ice damage. Like, that's a lot of damage. Like, a lot of us right now, they have it on an Abyss. Well, that thing has no crit. Like, we need an ice weapon. Like, you can get the Kotanoa ice weapon and slap it on there. Like, for me, I'm Spear. I kind of want to put Tidal Wave on my 133 weapon. My 133 Sleet. But then when Osame comes, I'll take that off, put it on the Dragon Arc, and make that a nice weapon. And instead of making two, I don't really want to make two of them. That'd be a fuck ton of drops. That's a lot of nuclei. But that'd be mad sick. It's a lot of stuff coming. I feel like the chat is broken. I'm sure you guys can't tell me that, but there's been no new comments in the past little bit here, and I want to pop that open and see for myself. It's just, yeah, I see some comments that weren't on stream. Let me scroll up to the last comment. Holy fuck. When was the last comment? Perfection. Oh, you can't wear too many arc mags because your SP will... Also, the arc mags are negative. They're negative SP. Cool. That's cool to know. So, I mean, how many are we going to make realistically? But if you have no SP, then yeah, 2 is fine. 2 is fine. But what if you wore an SP reduction accessory like Leviathan? Yeah, you can wear 3 Gargs easy. But no crits. Yeah, do the Gargs lower your crit and make you not able to heal? That kind of sucks. Yeah, they do. Levy accessories for 20 SB. Hobo with the heaven, like, yeah, like, and that's the other thing. Like, fucking Vanguards are gonna get damage multipliers, my dude. 150 Lancelot's coming in here with rain. Oh lord, save us this damage. Like, that's gonna be mad damage. Yeah, exactly. We cancel out a mag. Like, oh, isn't it timed or after a certain damage threshold? Oh, I'm trying to read all these comments. Oh, Oni mode is timed. Okay. Is there a place to sell items? Yeah, Zombie Prince of All Sands. In game, what you can do, like, do you mean selling it to other players or just to sell it into the system itself? Because if you talk to this man over here, you can find him everywhere, Moroku. You can talk to him and you can sell him stuff, and he'll give you Ryu in return, basically money, and you can do stuff like that. But if you mean like sell items to other players, yeah, you can also do that by going to your community. You open your touchpad, whatever your menu, you go to community, you go to bazaar, and then you put some items in your stall, you set a price for them, and then you open your stall. Cool. Oh, you spent, that's a lot of money for the rank 7. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, it's good. We can't complain about it. Did I talk about Purgatory rest? Not yet, not yet. Damn it, that was a good thing. Oh, true. Still, OC's OC. I'll see you, San. Have fun at work. You got Lancelot a week ago? Nice. Yeah, the chat's glitched for sure. Hey, Thizzy, how you doing? Cool. So, yeah, so here's big news. So, this might not be news to everyone, but it's news to me because nobody tells me anything. Okay? I had messaged someone, but, in the current Purgatory event we have right now with Sleet, I've seen a confirmed screenshot that void recipes can be a reward, so keep in mind if you want a soul egg and stuff. But seeing a picture of void recipe in reward, that's fantastic. The only thing is that it's a 1 out of 8 chance for you to get your own, let's say. But that just means while you're running it, there is a chance you can get a void weapon recipe. And it could be your own, and then you're like, well, what the fuck do I do with these medals? But that's really cool. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought it was only from the exchange shop. So that's fucking rad. That's really rad. It's a drop, there's a 1% chance? That's fucking good. I played this game. 1%? Wow. That's a Tempest recipe. We should be popping 400s in there. That's good. Yeah, 1%. That's good. You know what a lunar spirit seal is? Jesus Christ. Fuck. Yeah, but yeah, that's really cool. Like that really invigorates the soul, more or less. So that's awesome. I mean, it might not be your own, but you're gonna be running the dungeon anyway, right? Now, is it? I don't know if it's only Oni mode or if it's also a health thing. That I don't know of in the specifics, but just the fact that you could just join a run one day and get your recipe is mind-boggling. Is just phenomenal. Yeah, exactly. You get your recipe by the mag. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, I don't think you can sell. I don't think you can sell them. I've never checked this, but I don't think it's possible. Someone probably already knows this, but junk. Yeah, we can't trade treasures, damn it. I wish we could. Imagine if you could just sell your medals to someone. What can you do? Oh, you can't. Okay, yeah. Could you imagine you just sell your treasures? Like, fuck, we'd be bringing alts in there. Well, not really. You kind of need people, but could you imagine? You just get your alts. I mean, you'd have to have some fucking strong alts. But, no. And you can't trade the recipe either, so that's not an option either. But still, it was really cool to see that picture today. That the void recipe can be gotten reward. That's really, really awesome. Really cool. Like I think Mocha got it. He got the staff of all things, which isn't that bad. That's Reign of Judgment. That's the thing, Blistering Ice Wave. You know, that's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. That's not too bad at all. But yeah, like these damage multiplier mags, like holy shit. Like I've had the game glitch before, and I had the El Sin weapon effects on Miyamoto, like when I Vanguard swapped, and I used moves, and I had lightning multipliers everywhere. It's fucking sick when that stuff happens. If we can control that. Like, imagine you have Zenith Perfection Mags or whatever the fuck, and you use Sepulcher, like, holy god. You have Ausame Mags and you're using, like, Summer Inuchio or something. Like, oh my god. Summer Inuchio with Ausame Mags. Holy shit. Like, yeah, on Void, yeah. Oh, it was your friend that got it. Okay, cool. But still, picture's awesome. Do the VFX look similar? I don't know what a VFX is. But, Oh, on the visual effects on Void? I think they're really, really white. Like, they glisten. Like, I've seen them on JP. I've seen a guy with the twin swords. They look really cool. Like, it's a very... They were the fire ones, and they look very, like... Like, it was a very bright... A pure... Like, a white... A very pure white added to how they look normally. It's really cool. It kind of, like, glowed in a way. I can't believe we've been talking about this for an hour already. But, let me see. I have the stream right here. What else did I have in the title? Because I forgot what I put in the title. Sublimes! Yes! Sublimes! Okay, YouTube, thanks. I don't want to subscribe to myself. I want to look at the comments. Thank you. I can't look at the comments. Where's the live stream? This is bullshit. I don't know, I touched one thing on YouTube and it's like the chat is gone. Anyway, so I did mention this in the other stream when we were waiting for the update to drop, but yes, there are new Sublimes coming. Like, I mean, they're probably not coming to us anytime soon, but I'm going to call it Sublime Set 6, I think. They're not really a set, but they are the 6th installment of Sublimes, I believe. I'm going to count on my fingers because I don't know how many Sublimes we have, but the first Sublime was Spirit Blast Sublime for Spear. I'm just going to go by Spear. Spirit Blast Sublime, Tidal Wave Sublime, Water Dragon Sublime, Soaring Shadow Strike Sublime, Whirlwind Thrust Sublime, and lastly, most recently, is Revolving Blast Sublime. So for Spear, we have a Holy Sublime, a Rain Sublime, no one's complaining, 100% Pierce Sublime, a Wind Sublime, and we're going to get a Fire Sublime. So in case anyone didn't see, I did get Whirlwind Thrust Sublime. It's really, really awesome. Really, really smexy. So that's really, really cool. Really, really cool. So the 6th Sublime is coming, and they're just getting progressively stronger and stronger as they come out, which is awesome, which they should be. No Sublime should be released and be absolutely trash. Oh, Dachi! Oh my god. So, if you are curious about the new Sublimes, there is a video by a Japanese YouTuber, Kurenai? I think it's Kureha, something like that. I can never remember their name exactly, but they have a red avatar. They do really nice content. It's all Japanese, but if you can watch it and understand what's going on, the language doesn't really matter. You just don't know what things are called. I am subscribed to them. Kurenai, they do really good. They do good videos for when it comes to JP content. Like they told us about Venus and Siegfried and Valkyrie getting buffed, which was a big fucking change. Also, if you get like, nope, okay, I was worried. Okay, if you get a Heaven mag, if you get a Tensho mag, then Valkyrie's gonna start getting some holy multipliers, and that's gonna be fucking cool. I was about to say, where's the ice? There's no ice guard. Okay, never mind. I was about to say, let's go, Aurora. But yeah, you could use the Tensho if you wanted to. Unless they're negative elements, then that's some bullshit right there. Does anyone know how to use YouTube? I'm trying to figure out how you can look at your subscriptions. I don't... Oh, there's a button for it. Holy Jesus. I don't know if they've uploaded anything recently. I just want to try and get the name right so nobody's just typing random things into the void. Actually, I think you can... I'm gonna try and type in Kurenai Onigiri, maybe? I think it's Kurenai. I think so. Something like that. Yeah, I was right. Kurenai Akaha. They do really good content, and they show a lot of Japanese things that we don't have yet. It's really nice. Like 6 days ago, they uploaded Purgatory, Gakaho, like... They did the run with Tidal Wave Sublime. It was really nice, really crisp, really great run. It also shows that the frame rate on JP is really good because you can see Garg. I'd never seen Dragonarch's attack before. He usually just earthquaked and I'd die. But I got to see what things looked like. It was really good. they do really good content. So that's Kurenai Akaha. They put out really good JP stuff. You want to look at things in the future. Really, really cool just to see what's going on. Absolutely. You can check them out on YouTube, for sure. So here we are. I don't know if you can get it from hell or not. We'll have to see. It could just be Oni mode. It could be hell. I'm not sure. I mean, we'll see it when it happens. I think more people are running Oni than hell, to be honest. But if I can get a good group together on like Saturday or Sunday or something, I'll boost restore hell for a good while. Like, we can run through Oni and then just boost restore hell for whatever. I don't mind that at all. I think that'd be fantastic. Because I recently just got my double Thunder Lance, so I'm really happy about that. Because that works. That sucks, but joyful. I had to drop 350 for my Whirlwind Thrust Sublime this update. I am glad it wasn't a 16 Sublime unit, because that shit sucks. That shit sucks hard. I wasn't doing that. So Void Recipes, we talked about mags, we talked about... There was something else in the title, I can't remember what it was. Sublimes, yes, Sublime. Sorry, I keep forgetting what I was talking about because we're talking about so many different things. So Kurenai Akaha does have a showcase of the new Sublimes. You can check that out. What I did when I watched it was I looked at how many ticks the moves do, because that's what really matters these days, what element it has and how many ticks the move does. Does it do good damage? Does it cover a lot of range? Things like that. Spears is really, really cool. It is Revolving Blast Sublime. It's more based about spinning your spear and you do a big fire tornado around you. It hits about 7 times and can cap each tick. I really recommend it. It's a good Sublime. Axe gets Freezing Ice Blade Sublime. It ticks 7 times. Each tick can damage cap. Really good radius. It's about bigger than... her name isn't Orihime. Her name is... I can't think. I can see her face, but I can't think of her name. She's like the 4th Vanguard ever, 5th Vanguard ever released, 6th Vanguard ever released. Because the first was Miyamoto, then it was Luna, Sasuke, Siegfried, and Venus, and then the next one was Himiko. Her name is Himiko. It's bigger than Himiko's like big ice Frostblade Sublimes that are all black and darkness and stuff, purple and good. So Axe gets a really good ice Sublime, 7 ticks of damage cap. Can't say no to that. Spear gets fire. Odachi gets shit on. They get like a water move. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it could be called, but I think it's ice. It's not Icicle Massacre because they don't have water. So I don't know where the Sublime came from. I don't know what it's called, but it's a big water ball. It's like Searing Sun Flames, like Searing Sun Flame, but it's like their Oogie 4 or whatever. But it's Sublime, but it's a water move. And it's straight shit because it ticks twice for damage cap. Like, I say it's straight shit because compared to all the other ones, they have massive multi-hit and do a lot of damage. But Odachi's is so lackluster. It's just 2 hits of damage cap at Rain, which is not bad. I mean, that's what Restriction Sublime is, but Restriction Sublime hits everything in an AoE. But it should have been like you throw the ball down and then it does a big tidal wave or something. But I don't know, it just looks really lackluster when all these new Sublimes came. Sword gets a fantastic Sublime. Sword gets Waterbound Blade Sublime. It's not ice, it's actually rain. And you do this, and it's what I wanted, honestly. I've described it many, many, many times, what I wanted Sword to get as a Sublime. I wanted Sword to get Lunge Step Sublime, where you just lunge, you travel through the area and you just slash everything like a billion times, and you close your sheath. Like right anime, like Brook from One Piece, like Yahatsugiri Notch. Like you just kill everything, like you just anime, close my sheath, everything dies. And, but yeah, so Sword gets Waterbound Blade, and you slash into the enemy like a lunge step, and then you just unleash hell, and you do like 21 slices, and they can all do like 2-3 million damage, if not more. And it's wild. It is wild to see that thing in action. It's probably Sword's best Sublime coming. Like, it's amazing. Bow gets Tornado, drops Sublime. Wind, Mountain, it ticks 10 times and can do damage cap if the right things happen. That's Sublime on the Dragon Arc in the future. The Zenith, Perfection, whatever we want to call it. Like, it's going to be fantastic. Like, even on the Grace, it's going to be fantastic. So that's awesome. Who else had a Sublime? They all got a Sublime. Staff Sublime's pretty friggin' bad, I'm not gonna lie, in comparison. It's not horrible, but it's not amazing either. It's like Dust Storm Blast, but you use spears or something. I don't know what the fuck it is. Because Sublimes used to be you took a normal skill and you just made it Sublime. You turned a normal skill into an Ogi. But Staff doesn't have a mountain skill, so they have some mountain skill. They do like a Dust Storm Blast into the ground, and like 4 spears come out from the ground, and they can each do damage cap. So it does like 4 ticks of damage cap, which is good. It's 40 million damage. That's fantastic. It's just in comparison, it's like, huh. I don't know how strong sort of vaunted Boulder Blade Sublime is. I don't know how good that is on Odachi, and I don't know how good Dust Storm Blast Sublime is on Sword either. But it didn't look that good. Yeah, for sure. I want to see Resurrection Sublime. I want to see Meditation Sublime. I want to see Strike Boost Sublime. Everyone gains like 50% attack. Like, let's go with that. Okay? I'm ready for that. Who else gets a Sublime? Wand. What did Wand get? Wand gets Frost Breath Sublime? I think it's Frost Breath or Blizzard Breath. I think it's Blizzard Breath Sublime, which is where they blow a kiss of ice, but they shoot like 5 of them. It's like whoosh, 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 whoosh. And I think it has a high chance to freeze, and it can do... I don't know if it can cap or not, but it does decent damage. I think it might just be all about freezing in a wide range area, but... it's cool, but it should have been like Icicle Palace, which is what like Frostglaive 10 is, but it should have been Aosame's Frostglaive, not gonna lie. That's what it should have been. Yes, give us Sun Rosa, exactly. Meditation Sublimes, well, it should be like First Aid Sublime. You just heal everybody, give everybody like basically Sun Rosa, essentially, yeah. But then if you gave Sun Rosa as a staff, then you eclipse like the whole need for Venus as a character. Because I know so many times Venus got us through tough events. Like Venus, when we were first doing Purple Mephi, Venus would just help us out so much by keeping us alive. Same thing with Yogg, like that was the whole point. And it was really, really, really useful. Venus has been clutch in so many events. It's like Trinity and, whatchamacallit. Like Trinity and Warframe. Flash of Retribution for the player, yeah. Like, honestly, Flash of Retribution is the defining move of Onigiri. Just a little reference. Flash of Retribution is Miyamoto's normal skill that defined an entire player base meta for like years. For years, Flash of Retribution, like, defined an era. Like... because it was so simple and effective. It is, I see a row of enemies, I'm going to shoot a blade of energy, and it goes through everything. It was revolutionary. And it kind of still is. Like, the only other character with it is, like, I was going to say Kiritan. It's, what's her name? Kenshin. Kenshin has, like, an ice one. But it was just 100% slice. Unless they resist slice, like, you just hit everything. And it was so easy to stack slice with faded and stuff like that. Like, Flash Retribution is amazing. Like a big giant area of effect move. Like, and it doesn't cost stamina. It's not like a mount move. It's just super range. Like, the closest thing on a mount to that much range would be like Oguchi doing his big dash. But at the same time, you're still approaching the enemy. It's not a projectile. The closest thing to that would be Leviathan's Marina Regalia, I guess, because that's a huge range attack. Like, without getting close to the enemy. You use this thing, it's going to go down to that portal over there. Like, it's a long-range attack. But Flash of Retribution was like that, but like instantaneously. You could shoot two of them and have them going, and before they patched it, you could, at the end of Miyamoto, you would be like low on you're about to run out of time, so you approach like a group of enemies and you shot a Flash of Retribution, you got out of Vanguard, the Flash of Retribution kept going, you'd kill the whole area, bam, your Vanguard's full again, you're back into it. Those were the days. Then they patched it and they said fuck you. Yeah, like, it's awesome. Yeah, like, I guess the closest thing to Flash of Retribution on the player would be sort of a Vidya Sublime, but even that doesn't have the range of Miyamoto's Flash of Retribution. Not even close. Like, and Dark Miyamoto does have Flash of Retribution, but she does like an extra hit, and it's just not as good. It's okay, but it's not as good. We need 150 Dark Miyamoto, I'm not gonna lie. That shit's been... They've been dragging their feet on... If they gave us 150 Lancelot before Dark... Like, they gotta do that. They gotta give us Dark Miyamoto 150. Like, just fucking do it. Just engross her in all of the darkness needed in the world. Like, I can't even have that right now. I have a 4-score Dark Miyamoto, and I still want that. Give us, like, Dark Miyamoto. Give her, like, Dark Heart of Retribution or some bullshit. Where she just starts, like, fucking, like, Evil Heart. Oh, my God. Like, that'd be so good. Punishment is pretty close, yeah. That's probably the next best thing. Icicle Punishment, which is event only, but if everybody gets it when the Redux comes, yeah, Icicle Punishment is I loved just running dungeons using Icicle Punishment. It was really fun and really nice to level. Icicle Punishment, as a universal Ogi, although it is, you know, an Ogi, it's really, really good. It's S tier. Really good Ogi. Because it doesn't stop when it hits something. It goes through everything, hits everything. Yeah, there's damage fall off, but the main thing is full invincibility. And with Purgatories coming out, and there's bullshit moves, full invincibility is the difference. Like I was saying a while ago, like, a lot of people converted their builds, myself, well, I've always been that way, but a lot of my friends converted their builds from running glass cannon-y, like high mind investment for crit and dex and all this bullshit, so they could have really, really high crit and do a lot of damage. But now that bosses don't die in 1 or 2 hits and engagements actually take several minutes to, you know, decide to win, the battle went to, okay, I need to not die while doing damage. Like, it became a battle of attrition instead of just, I'm going to be really, really strong, hit this guy a couple times, and that's it. So, with this meta change of bosses just being HP sponges and us not needing to die, like, we started running Chiami. And then Purgatories came, and Purgatory started slapping you 12k, 7k, 8k, 12k, die, you're frozen now. Oh, I'm gonna kick you in the balls and throw fireballs at you. You're dead. Like, when that came in, the Purgatories and shit, they started doing a bunch of damage. So then you couldn't out-heal them because there's no... It's very hard to out-heal them because they do a fuck ton of damage. But with Chiami or something like that, like, it's just whole other world. And then in Oni mode, you can't even use Chiami. I think that's probably the whole reason they don't have crit, is because Chiami's meta-defining as well, and it just gets better every update. Like, honestly, it does. Yeah, that's where Icicle Punishment belongs, on the 133 Void. Absolutely. Absolutely. But the main thing I'm getting to is I'm noticing now that we're having kind of I've noticed there's a return to lances. Like, having invincibility on the player is probably the strongest attribute you can have right now. Now that it's just a battle of how many times can I hit you with damage cap until you die, well, And if they're going to hit you with a move that could potentially kill you, well, the direct response is I'm going to lance, block cancel, lance, block cancel, roll, whatever. It's going to go back to like being a frail piece of paper, and I need to, it's like lance or die. Like lances are kind of making a comeback. Like Thunder Lance on Sleet, it's, I used my El Sin. I'm like, oh, I have Thunder Lance and my El Sin. Let's go with that. And it did like 7 mil, and if I got the proc, it would do like damage cap or whatever. If I was under half, whatever it may be. Like I was able to cap with El Sin. I'm like, well, okay, that's fine. That's great. That's dandy. That's all I need to worry about. I don't need this on. I don't need to like change my White Brilliance or anything. I can just leave this as it is, and that's fantastic. That's a friggin' thing. Not that's a. I was thinking like, lightning. Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I'm doing right now. I was mentioning this earlier. Is I'm trying to build myself an El Sin bow, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. I'm kind of just standing here, but I'm just ranting, and anyway, I'm talking into the void. But yeah, like, because like if you're in a party or you have some time and you don't want to get close, you don't want to approach, having lightning flash shot Sublime or thunder crashes on a wand or even regular lightning flash shot, although that's probably a death sentence. But having that ranged option, I talked about this earlier, having a ranged option like for different parts of the engagement, having ranged when far away and having really strong close range when close is fantastic. One run, like when I notice when I do sleep by myself, I can't use Rolling Thunder because it's so much commitment that I just die. And it doesn't do the damage it's supposed to do. It does like 3 mil instead of doing damage cap like everywhere else. Like every other situation where Lance would do damage cap, Rolling Thunder would do damage cap. So for me, like Lance just lost all use in my mind. But then again, when I'm running it in a party and the aggro's on somebody else, I can get behind them, zap, 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 and do some really good damage. So if you have like this duality, oh, it's really good. You use the rank 5? The rank 5 of what? The rank 5 of Lance? Or the... Because that would make sense. Oh. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they don't. They don't for sure. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think I was talking about Sublimes earlier. I don't want to exclude anybody, but I think Sword had Waterbound Blade Sublime, Axe has Freezing Ice Blade Sublime, Odachi has Water Ball Sublime, Twin has Twin had a Sublime. I don't remember what Twin had. Misty Massacre Sublime. It was really cool. Not as good as Sword Sublime, but really cool. Misty Massacre Sublime was sick. It was like maybe 50 mil. It was really good. Like 5 ticks damage cap. Nice. You feel like Azuma from Naruto. So that was really cool. Bow had Tornado Drop, Tornado Shot Sublime. Spear has Revolving Blast Sublime, Staff has Mountain Stick Sublime, and Wand has Freezing Ice Breath Sublime. Those are all really, really cool. Yeah, Misty Sublime for sure. LD3 Sin? Yeah. Oh, D3, yeah, that's really cool. For sure. So yeah, I do have Lightning Flash Shot Sublime myself, so I am trying to put my pieces together. Like, I was talking about that earlier too. Like, I think we're getting to an era where it's not so much about being like, because it's always best to like stack your stuff, and a lot of people enjoy being like, I'm a spear user, that's what I like, that's what I'm going to use. But for a lot of situations, starting with like Kaguya, Oni Kaguya, people started building bows for the situation. Like, we're entering a meta where, like, yeah, you want to have your version of a weapon that just came out. You want to have the next strongest thing. That's cool. That's your goal. But then when it comes to, like, having tools, it's like, well, shit. Like, you know, a raid bow would be really good for, like, Oni mode, or this, or that, or this, or that. And it's like, okay, yeah. So, like, I noticed that, like, rolling for your own Sublime, most of the time, you end up getting, like, other Sublimes or other tools or something like that. And purple lady, trying to look. I have a Spirit Blast Sublime here, Tidal Wave Sublime, Eternal Thunder. What's that? Oh, like I start getting all these extra Sublimes that are options. Like, oh, all the Oogies start with O, so let me just go there to, like, look for Oogies, because that would be easy. Because I think... Do Sublimes count as Oogies? Like, okay, they do. So I could look at all my Sublimes here and look at all this stuff I'm sitting on that I could be using. I think all the Extracteds are at the top for some reason. No, they're not. And some Sublimes are bad and things... Do I have 12 of one Sublime? Jesus Christ, what is that? Zura's Thunder, oh my god. But I'm just sitting on stuff like Aerial Blast Sublime. I could use a fire, like if I had a Firebow, I could do that. Like I'm sitting on a lot of power that could be used in certain situations. Now Blistering Ice Wave, that's not going to be an option because Icicle Punishment's just better. There's a Crimson Crosscut Sublime, I didn't even know that. I could use that, I guess. Crimson Flame Blast Smash, Crimson Ray... Dark Tornado Sublime, Dust Storm Blast Sublime. Like, there's so many Sublimes. I'm not trying to show off what I have, but I'm just talking in perspective. Like, there are a lot of options. If I was lacking something, another class or another weapon might have what I need. Like, Lightning Flash Shot Sublime. I have Lightning Slash Sublime? I didn't know that. Okay. Meditation Sublime? Meteor Rain Shot, another Illusion Trap. Restriction, Sublime, Rolling Thunder. Oh, that. Oh, I hate seeing that. But I could use it. And Lightning, Shining Enma Slash. Yeah, like there's a lot of options that you could have. Soul Edge, holy shit. Is Soul Edge invincible? Because that'd be cool. But yeah, like I'm starting to think, like, you know, I have options. Like other classes get these Sublimes that I can't be jealous about that because I don't have that Sublime. Rolling Thunder. But like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of options that should be utilized. Like, I have a, like, in Pokemon, you'd say there's power in the PC. Like, there's things I'm not using that I could be using. And there's power in the inventory. And I'm starting to think, like, you know, oh, man, like, Spear has really good lightning, but we don't have ranged lightning. And that was the whole thing with, like with Sleet. If I can just kick back and start shooting some lightning, if I have a random second I can not want to approach, I switch weapon, pew pew pew, switch back, like it'd be right nice, right nice. And same thing with fire, although we will be getting a fire Sublime in the future. Like, let's say for example, I don't even know what fire weapon I could make. Let's say I made like a spark or something, like a wand spark. Like that should be strong enough to use like fire Sublimes and stuff. If I needed like a fire for whatever reason, wand would probably be the go-to. But there's definitely a lot of options. Rolling Thunder. Yeah, Rolling Thunder Sublime. It hits 3 to 5 milliticks. That's good. So what does it do? Like Rolling Thunder Sublime, is it like you target the enemy and then Rolling Thunder hits them at their spot? Because that'd be... I think that's what it does. I think it's a ranged version of the Satan Ogis. And Satan Ogis exist as well. I haven't tried them on Sleet either. But I kind of want to. But at the same time I don't. I used to have that on my White Brilliance. Odin will remember this? Okay. Oh. So yeah, like... definitely don't sleep on what you have in your possession, because I find rolling now in events. They just hand out artisans out the wazoo. Like, artisans aren't as coveted as they once were. Like, I have no problem using my resources on something else anymore because I just have too many of them nowadays. Most of the time I'm just throwing them away. Yeah, he's talking about the Rolling Thunder Sublime. Yeah, it's like if you've ever used the crosses Ogi, like the Galgos cross, like you jump, you hop, you do like a back step, and then you shoot a little lightning bubble on the ground like a puddle. It's very similar. Like, it makes a puddle and then it does damage. So, hey Andromeda, the new Arc Ogi. Yeah, Aja was talking about that. Caps with holy at purple Mephi with negative 100 fire. Jeez, how do you have negative 100 fire with a new Garg? Because it's... Wait, which Ogi? Like is that the Tensho Ogi, or is that... I don't know. Yeah, for sure. Oh, Frozen Helmet. Oh, Frozen Helmet. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Cool. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, true. Yeah, Sword gets Dust Storm. I mean, Odachi gets Water Ball Sublime, but yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome to see all these things we pick up start being useful. That's the best time, is when that one thing that really didn't do much starts being like, whoa, that's really cool, and you see a resurgence, and it changes how the game is played. I like that. I like that a lot. So it's been about an hour and a half, and my throat's getting really dry. So I'm probably gonna wrap up the streaming pretty soon, because I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. So basically the main things are level 140, experience tickets are going to be used from 131 to 139. You can start stockpiling those now if you want. New Sublimes are coming, they're really awesome. 133 Dragon Arcs are amazing, 133 Dragon Arc Mags are amazing. Void recipes can appear as a drop and reward. Apparently it's a 1% chance. Keep that in mind. Cross your fingers. Keep farming. And Kotanoa mags are probably coming this summer. And as well as Kotanoha weapons. And they rival Tempest as mags. And the weapons are really good because it's going to be an ice weapon at 125. Ice Wind and Fire Wind. Also in the future, there is going to be a new warding where you fight Beelzebub and Nyarlathotep. I'd probably talk about this at some point in time. They have weapons that come out, and it's really cool, and it's also really dumb, but it's unique. Okay, that's the word for it. The weapons are going to be split. I don't know how strong the weapons are actually, but half of the weapons, so like let's say bow, axe, sword, and Odachi are one type. And then this, I don't know this exactly, and then like spear, twin, axe, and whatever. So 4 classes are one way, 4 classes are the other. But basically, 4 weapon types are going to have like wind, and like 4 are going to have mountain, or something like that. The weapons are a bit different. And and the new weapons, they're going to be cool. So anytime there's new weapons, new warding, really fun. You fight like 5 Beelzebubs and then Nyarlathotep. And in that dungeon, Icicle Punishment's really good. And Ozra, I saw a video, and Ozra actually did really good as well. So that's really cool. So lots of new weapons are in the future. Lots of mags are in the future. Like, I feel like this year was really dry for content. Like 2018, 2019 was very dry. Like, I didn't play very much of like that year, mainly because like we only just got a new weapon like 2 months ago, the Grace, and that I farmed the shit out of. I like it when they give us new weapons and stuff. I like that a lot. And now it looks like in the future horoscope that more and more things are coming. Like, that's fantastic. Is poison ever going to be relevant? I'm not sure. 25 cooldown on a 45 chakra mag? I mean, maybe. Maybe someday. You don't have anything to do? Sudageza, you gotta start farming your experience tickets, my dude. That's what you gotta do. A Kentucky Redux is gonna come too? Cool. Oh, that's Fused Bear? Oh, okay. You see, I had blocked out Fused Bear from my mind because I ran that enough to make 3 Fusion Bears and never got it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's whatever. At this point, anyway. You just want Kentucky? Kentucky 150 though, I'm just saying. Really quick, before I leave, I want to look at what Vanguards deserve a 150. I can't look at what Vanguards deserve a 150. Oh my god. I want to just quickly look and say, like, what Vanguards deserve a 150. Every Divine Possession deserves a 150. They did rob me, for fucking sure they did. Eva too. Miyamoto deserves a 200. Musashi deserves a 150. Himiko deserves a 150. Oda deserves a 150. Incognito Oda gets a 150 in the future, by the way, guys. If you never use your Incognito scrolls, hold on to them. I mean, I don't think it really matters that much, but she gets a 150 in the future. Which is really crazy. Genbu deserves a 150, because why the fuck not? And I don't have that many new Vanguards, but everyone I name should get a 150. Tristan should get a 150, and her ass should get Jiggle Physics. I think that's very important, and I want my money to go to that. Kieran should get a 150. Oh, so alrighty guys, so I enjoyed this stream. I hope you guys did enjoy the stream as well. Lunar, there is a Beelzebub boss warding. He is coming. It's Beelzebub in Nyarlathotep. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little stream. I wanted to just discuss all the things we talked about when this event dropped, but it was in like just this prolonged like podcast space of just waiting for an update, so no one's gonna see the title and click on it. So this one I wanted to have one where the title was actually discussing what's at hand, and you know, people can just listen and farm. That's the main thing about Aurogiri nowadays, is people just want to listen, and while they're like, I want people to farm, and if they have something to listen to when they farm, they can farm really easily. This is almost 2 hours of farming, so this is a whole boost if you want to just get ready to farm something. I like that, because 150's uncle, please no. God no. My speakers will blow up. My speakers will blow up if 150's uncle comes. She'd be like, Moji Des, like all those millennial memes where the fucking bass is boosted louder than the colors of the rainbow. Like, Moji Des, and then it just like fucking distorted some bullshit and whatever. That would happen. But yeah, so I actually didn't work overtime tonight because I was beat. I worked really hard all day. I couldn't stay. So instead I used the time to make a video, so that was awesome. And yeah, I'll see you guys. You know, let me guys know how things go. If anybody sees any void recipes drop, or they have any success, or whatever is up, you know, let me know. And this weekend, by the way, I want to try and get a group together and just run the shit out of Purgatory, Hell, and Oni, and whatever. Like a good, like, 2 or 3 hours of boost restore with a good group. I want to just fucking kill it. Like, I think that'd be really fun. For sure. 150 Izuna or Genai for the free-to-plays? I mean, they'll make straight money if they put out 150 Izuna. You go to the shop and you buy 5 scrolls. Boop, 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 boop. 50, what is it, 50 OC a scroll? So they make 25 bucks a person? Well, think about that. If you can join, right on, I'd enjoy that. But think about that really quick. So, I was talking about that earlier, like, I don't get why they took away, like, using experience tickets, because people that used experience tickets have a shit ton of experience boosts stored up. Like, they didn't have to pay for those boosts. No one buys experience boosts. No one goes out of the way to get experience boosts. They just have them. So then, when they got rid of the ability to use the experience dungeon, it's like, well, you had people ready to drop $300 per account to get their characters leveled up, like, and you just didn't want money after that. I don't get it. They could have just said, like, hey, every year it's 135, it's 130, 140, 145. Hey, it's 150. I want $300. Hey. And then they put all that money to making new content? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know how much chakra we'd have? We were in 4105s. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what we can do, man. If we can get a good party together going. Like... And I think the less soul eggs used, the better. So if that means you just get 5 people going into the dungeon, and we all just first aid, like shake our little stick for like 2 minutes, whatever, just for consistency's sake of not dying and shit. Like if we all just go in the dungeon, everybody first aid fills up their whatever they got, their Kieran or whatever, we go in and we just beat the shit out of the boss and we leave. I'm 2000% down for that. Because that's the brain dead kind of farming I live for. Like when you're farming, you don't want to think. You're not farming when you're thinking. Then you just don't know what you're doing. You're not as efficient as you could be. Too many variables. I want vegetables, not variables. The fuck? That's a slogan right there. When I farm, I want vegetables, not variables. I don't want to think. I just want results. Stonks. And you have invincibility frame and all that stuff, so that's fantastic. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. I'm gonna go drink like a gallon of water straight from Siranakwa's mouth. I'm gonna drink all the water in the world. And yeah, so we are Wednesday, my dude, so you'll probably hear from me again this weekend. So yeah. So we'll discuss all that. I'll probably stream it so everyone will know what's going on and we'll see what's going on. Alrighty guys, see ya.